Hey there, welcome back to my channel, Conquer College Admissions. This is Julie. If this is your first time clicking this video on our channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when we release new videos. Today's topic is dear to my heart because I've also struggled with the GPA and the SAT scores. So let's go ahead and dive right in so you can learn how you can compensate your GPA or your SAT and ACT scores. Before we get started, I do want to share a little bit about how I was feeling throughout the college admissions process because of my GPA and SAT scores. So I did have a couple of B's and one C. And for SAT scores, I was nowhere close to even hitting my dream college minimum SAT score range. So it was pretty darn low. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you, because you might think, you're a college consultant, you help students get better SAT scores, you help kids get into college. Why are you telling us that your scores weren't that good? And the reason is because I don't really care. I don't think that SAT scores define who you are. Just because you have a low SAT score doesn't mean that you're stupid. It doesn't mean that you're not worthy. It doesn't mean any of those things. And I just want to share this part of my story with you in case you are struggling with self-doubt in this college admissions process. So I just want to let you know you're okay. And honestly, I talked to my friends about this. I talked to my fiance, Sang, about this. We're like, oh my gosh, like SAT, like we don't really use the skills that we learn in those tests in real life anyways. And one example I like to share is Sarah Blakely, CEO and founder of Spanx. And I'll go ahead and like put in some pictures of her. But basically, when she was going through the law admissions process, she bombed her LSAT test. And it's kind of like the SAT test, but for you to go into a law school. And so she thought like she wasn't good enough and all of those things, but she didn't let those doubts or false beliefs affect her future. And now she owns Spanx, and it's a billion dollar company. She was featured on Forbes as the first female billionaire. I'm just sharing these examples with you because I don't want you to feel bad. And sometimes it's not even about your work ethic, because I have amazing work ethic. I'm responsible, I'm really hardworking. But with SATs, no matter how hard I studied, no matter what kind of prep centers I went to, what kind of tutors I've hired, it just didn't work. So just letting you know from the bottom of my heart that nothing is wrong with you, even if your scores are not where you want it to be, despite how much work you're putting into it. So with that being said, I do want to push my students and coach my students to always dream big and to look at the progress that they've made. So as a coach inside the Passion Project Bootcamp program, which is our one-year college consulting program, I'm not gonna just tell my students, okay, you don't have to do SATs. If you think you're not good at it, forget about it. No, I will acknowledge and say, well, it is a low score for this school, but how can we increase it? How can we make sure that you can even increase it just by a little bit? And I like this approach when it comes to coaching my students because I understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, I can challenge them to step into their uncomfortable zone or to their fullest potential. And so in this video, I wanted to share with you how you can compensate your GPA and SAT or ACT scores. But disclaimer, I'm not telling you that you should just stick with these scores and be like, okay, just use Julie's strategies. I want you to try hard in both places. I want you to show up 100% for your classes, tests, exams, SAT and ACT, but I also want you to utilize these strategies and resources I'm about to share with you. So if that sounds like a good plan, let me know. Hit the thumbs up button so I know that you are committed to this college admissions process. All right, so my chit chat got a little longer than expected, but let's dive into strategy number 1. The very first thing that you can do to compensate your GPA or SAT scores is to land a research or intern position that aligns with your academic interest. Colleges look at intellectual curiosity or intellectual vitality very much, and so the best way to show that, hey, like even though my GPA is not that good, or maybe I got a B in my AP bio class, or maybe my SAT scores are below 1500, and so these are not going to be good enough for some of the Ivy League or top tier colleges that I'm aiming for. Really, the best way to assure the college admission officers reading your application is to show that you do have a lot of passion or a strong interest in a specific academic field. And that is a reason why I've helped so many of my Passion Project Bootcamp students land research positions. It's not just a strategy to compensate your GPA and SAT scores, but it's essential in terms of showing that you are particularly passionate about a certain academic topic. So for example, I've had students land research positions. They were able to do that is because we do teach how to land research positions inside the Passion Project Bootcamp as well. And the reason why I came up with this methodology and this strategy for my students is because it's something that I struggled with when I was a high school student, because I wanted to land some research or intern position that aligned with education, but no matter how many times I Googled or how many times I looked online for opportunities, they were really hard to find. So luckily, I was able to land a research position at USC as a high school student, and I refined the system and the process, the email templates, all of that, so that my students could go ahead and also land their dream research positions or any other internships or opportunities that align with their academic interest. So that would be strategy number 1. And if you want to learn more in terms of, okay, how can I land a research position? What is my first step? I highly recommend that you start off with our free training, because in the free training, I share examples of how my students were able to land research positions. So I'll go ahead and add in the free training link down below at www.juliekimconsulting.com/masterclass. Strategy number 2 is to create and execute a passion project that aligns with your academic interest. So inside the Passion Project Bootcamp, my students create passion projects that either align with their personal interest or their academic interest. However, if you are struggling with the SAT scores and ACT exams and also the GPA aspect, maybe you got a C your sophomore year and you're like, that C is bugging me so much. I still want to show colleges that I'm really hardworking and smart. So if that's the case, then starting a passion project that aligns with your academic interest will be a better strategy than to work on a passion project that is more geared towards your personal interest. So I've had students where his academic interest was business, and so he created a business that aligned with his interest in cars and photography. I've also had students interested in neuroscience, and so she basically created a platform for students interested in neuroscience, and she was able to also connect with professors in the field of neuroscience, and so that really gave her the boost that she needed in her college admissions portfolio. So that would be the second strategy. And most people think creating a passion project is hard or it's going to take up a lot of time, but if you really make sure that the passion project idea aligns with your academic interest, you'll have so much more fun doing it. And also, if you want more coaching and guidance, that's definitely something that we offer in the Passion Project Bootcamp as well. So you can get monthly live Q&A calls with me, and I could also coach you through that process. The third strategy for compensating your GPA and SAT scores is to work on improving yourself. And I know this is probably not the strategy that you're expecting, but even if you received a few B's or a C in the past, you still have another opportunity to show colleges like, hey, I'm not just going to stop there. I'm not going to just be like, okay, I got a B, so I'm going to give up on this entire process and just be like, oh, I'm so sad, like, no, you're going to show colleges that you're very hardworking, that you're always moving forward and you're improving. And the upward trend is something that colleges love to see. And just think about it, right? If you were to see a transcript and it had, you know, a few B's and C's, and then the last semester or the last year of their high school years, it's like nearly straight A's. So you really need to show improvement and progress, because that shows to the college admission officers that you're putting the work, you're not giving up, and you're working hard. And that really demonstrates a lot about your character and personal qualities, which colleges view as very important. And so don't stop where you're at, don't give up, don't let that 1B or 1C stop you from achieving your college dreams. And regardless of whether you get into your dream college or not, I believe that we should always be improving, and that we shouldn't stop where we're at, and we should dream big. And that's sort of the philosophy that I like to pass down to my students, because, you know, we're all born here in this planet for a reason. Everyone is born with a special talent and gift. And I really want you to find that. I really want you to live from your full potential. And so that is a reason why I encourage my students to always improve, whether it is time management skills, mindset, college admissions journey, the way that you look at life, whatever it is. And so that is why this strategy number 3 is really the most important strategy that you should know as a student going through the college admissions process. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's video. It feels like I'm always having a chat with you when I'm recording these videos, and so I hope that you felt the same way. And if you are struggling with the SAT component or the GPA aspect of your college admissions process, and you really want to continue to go after your college dreams, I definitely recommend that you start off with our free training, so you can learn a little bit more about what is it that colleges are looking for. And this process is very holistic as well. So just because you have 1B or 1C, that's not always necessarily going to break your college goals. So keep that in mind, and I'll see you inside the free training, www.juliekimconsulting.com/masterclass. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. That lets me know that this kind of topic is something that you find very helpful, which then I can make more of. All right, thank you for watching the video until the very end. I'll be back here with another video very soon. Bye.